Shalom, shalom, it's Sheriff from GMS Savannah. Come with another lesson, but first and foremost, I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Hakakodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders and elder bishop, great millstone, which rule well, teach well, and to the Arkham as well as the Phillips, pushing its 100% truth out of the Bible and sincerity by risking their life to do so, and to the hopeful elect of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as you speckled birds scattered amongst the heathens that have the appearance of the heathens, but their father seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and also referred to as Israelite foreigners. Okay, but today's lesson I'm going into is, you Jake's gonna learn the hard way. You know, you're gonna learn the hard way. You think your status is it's gonna bail you out, but man, hey, hey man, when you out here and you're not being smart, man, it's a fearful thing to fall in the hand of the living power, man. You gonna get judged out here, Jake. You know, a lot of these athletes are not being smart out here, and you're getting caught up, man. And you really in hell. You really getting caught up and being put in hell here in Babylon the Great. This lesson I'm going into is ex NBA player Ben McLemore found guilty of first degree rape. And I remember this guy. He came out of Kansas, man. He was a very talented basketball player. And hey man, he don't feel subject of being in the world out here, man. Not being smart. But it says in the article right here, former Portland Trail Blazer Ben McLemore has been found guilty of raping a woman at 2021 house party. You know, you got to be smarter than that, man. You probably was the only athlete in there. You know what I'm saying? Former athlete. With some clout, and you got caught up in some bullshit. The verdict was announced Thursday morning, July 3rd. More than after the 31-year-old guard was arrested on charge of first-degree rape, first-degree unlawful sexual penetration, and 2 counts of second-degree sexual abuse. A grand jury found McElroy guilty of all charges, except for one account of second-degree sexual abuse. Hey, man, that's what you get. That's what happens when you get caught up loving the world out here, man. You loving your status and who you are, man. But hey, it didn't help you out at all. Uh, it says McLemore, who who has also previously played for the Memphis Grizzlies, Sacramento Kings, Houston Rockets, and Los Angeles Lakers, was accused of assaulting a 21-year-old woman at at the house of his former teammate, Robert Covington. The woman testified during the 11-day trial that she was too inebriated to consent to sex. My body felt locked up, she told jurors, as reports by Live Mint. I thought if I played dead, it might stop. McApoor pleaded not guilty to the charges, arguing he too had been drinking that night and the sexual encounter was consensual. He addressed the allegations in 2024 statement shortly after his arrest. And see, Jake they gonna have to learn, man. You gotta be accountable for yourself, Jake. You can't. If you, especially if it's a Becky, he was through. You know, definitely a Becky. The other ones, hey, you might have a 50-50 chance, but hey, Becky be looking for that payment, man. And so that's what happened. You don't want to pay? Hey, man, look at that. Now you done caught damn L, man, for real. And it says right here the charges I was handed in court yesterday appeared to be alleged that, and this was back in 2021, I had said to the woman who was too intoxicated to consent. He wrote, I am not accused of using physical force to grape someone. Rather, I am accused of engaging in sexual activity with someone who claims she did not consent. I did not grape this woman. I am not sexual abusive. I have never pursued a sexual relationship when I understood a woman is not interested in me and acting willingly. The alleged allegation allegation date back to October 2021, during a time I played in Portland. He continued, it will take some time for us to uncover the facts. At the time, the prosecutor has not provided my attorneys with any reports of evidence. My attorneys and I cooperated fully with the investigation. I met every request made of me immediately and professionally. I was indicted that I was interested in testifying in the grand jury, but was refused that opportunity. Then it says, when my attorneys were informed of the charges, we immediately made plans to return to the United States for the first court appearance and inform all law enforcement authorities and the court of my travel plan. I could not have done more to assist in the process. The truth will come to the light, and I'm confident it will prevail, and my name will be clear. Thank you for all the support. I appreciate all of you, and the confident that I'm confident this will turn out as it should. And it says McLemore faces 8 years in, in prison. His sentencing hearing is scheduled for July the 9th. And that was just the other day. And he was found guilty. You know, he was found guilty, man. And you know, he had a shoe deal with Adidas, man. And hey, when you don't, when you what the scripture say? When you see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. And this Jake he didn't understand, man, that you in evil times, man. You had a little bit of money. I don't even, it probably didn't have no, no rap sheet really being in trouble, man. But hey, Jake got 8 years, man. And the thing about it, Babylon ain't got 8 years, so he ain't gonna be in there that long. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, hey, like I say right here, hey, Proverbs 11:4, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness deliver from the death, man. You know, and hey, him going in the in that prison system, man, for being sentenced for 8 years, man, that's hell, man. That's hell here on earth. But Jake wasn't being smart, man. You gotta be smart. You was at a party, a friend's party. Hey, we always throw this in there, Exodus 23:2. Thou shalt not follow multitude to do either. Neither shall thou speak in the cause to decline after many to rush judgment. And Jake was following the multitude, having a party. Females being drunk there and carrying on. And hey, man, you got to be smart, Jake. And Jake wasn't being smart. He was saying he woke up and she was had been touching on him or whatnot, and he said that's pretty much once you found out that he pled guilty. He was trying to explain himself, but hey, Sirach 12:10, man. Never trust thy enemy, for like an iron rusted, so is wickedness. And he trusted his enemy, man. Whether it was, a Becky or even an Israelite woman, that's your enemy, man. Shit. Hey man, you never trust them, man. They'll lie. But like I said, I think this probably was a Becky. I would think, you know what I'm saying? Because, I'm pretty sure, she was probably looking for a payday. Like, hey, you take care of me and this, that's how the thing go down, man. So man, who knows, man? The Lord knows, and like I say, Jake got a judgment of 8 years. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And like I say, Jeremiah 4:22, for my people foolish, they have not known me, they are sottish children, stupid, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. And being was being stupid, man. You know, all kind of things could go wrong. But hey, but see, like I say, he has to he has to be the poster child of what to do and not to do, man. Unfortunate, man. You had a very uh, prestigious college career. You came in the league, shoe deal, making some money. But look, man, you did all that stuff, man, and it's almost like in vain. You know what I'm saying? You end up in the joint for 8 years, man. You know, like I say, it ain't the fact that what I'm saying, you can have as many women as you want. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing wrong with that, but you just have to be smart, though, man. You have to get these women that they're for you, and you know what I'm saying. You go out here and you get reckless. You can get caught up. You know, but that's just come on. You getting a judgment, Jake. You know, not walking circumspectly, man. Not knowing the times of evil, man. You just got to be smart, man. You got to know who you're dealing with. So hey, it's something happened. It is what it is. Hey, just move forward, and like I say, just to warn these other athletes out here, man. That, hey, you got to be smart. You got to move smart out here, man. And you got to just really be thinking about what you're doing. You got to be careful out here, man. And this guy right here was a well-known basketball player. Look, he got caught up. You know, and it's unfortunate. He had to learn the harder way, and that's exactly what happened. But I hope this was edifying to the hopeful sheep. Kwan Yasharala, you know, the water Yahweh Shem Yahweh on to the next lesson. Be careful out here, Jake. Be careful. Repent.